It's 1 o'clock, good afternoon. I'm Rhys Wicks with 2NRFM Hunter News. The New South Wales opposition leader's campaign bus rolled into Medowie this morning, with Luke Foley announcing funding for a new school. The Labor leader is promising $40 million to design and build a public high school in its first term in government, on land which was purchased in the early 80s. Luke Foley rejects advice from the Education Department, which indicates there's not sufficient demand yet for a new school.
I'm going to change the entire way they think about this. It's just nuts that the Department of Education and Communities relies on existing enrolment figures to plan future schools' needs. I'm going to rely on the best population projections.
But Port Stephens MP Craig Bellman says he doesn't expect students from other schools to make the move to Medowie High.
I don't think that those that are already going to specialist high schools, Merewether, or the performing arts high schools in Newcastle or private schools will go to a high school in Medowie. Once the population is sufficient to justify it, Adrian Pickley and Mike Baird will be the first to start turning the sods and building that high school.
The state government is promising to help rid Newcastle of its mine subsidence nuisance once and for all, pledging $17 million towards grouting the gaps left by old mine workings in the CBD. It'll involve drilling underneath the surface, pumping concrete slurry into the voids created by old mine tunnels and shafts, ensuring new office spaces can be developed safely on the site. Regional Director of the Australian Property Council, Andrew Fletcher, says it's a win-win.
The $17 million city centre grouting fund means that there is now certainty for investors in terms of dealing with the upfront costs of fixing what is Newcastle's unique problem child, the maze of tunnels and shafts beneath the surface. This fund is really going to give another boost to urban renewal across the city.
John Hunter Hospital has again fallen under the state target, with only 64% of patients leaving within 4 hours of arriving. Improvements have been made to the hospital's ear, nose and throat surgeries, which saw a 40% drop in patient waiting times at the end of last year. However, this has not increased waiting times, which have been attributed to almost 30,000 people attending the emergency department for semi-emergencies. Maitland Hospital has also fallen below the target, with only 66% of patients leaving within the 4-hour period. The University of Newcastle will soon be playing host to one of Australia's leading contamination and remediation research organisations. The Cooperative Research Centre for Contamination Assessment and Remediation of the Environment will be moving to the Hunter in a bid to open up contact with a wider range of industries. Managing Director for the Centre, Ravi Naidu, says the move is about securing long-term plans.
Yes, it's about opening up CRC care to more industries. CRC care is funded to 2020, and we are looking at CRC care continuing beyond 2020. And for this to occur, we'll have to make certain that we have partnership with many more industries than what we have right now. And New South Wales provides us that opportunity.
Optus are facing a backlash from a number of Dudley-based customers following failure to notify residents of a recent planned mobile reception outage. The decision to turn Dudley Tower off between February 25th and March 1 meant a significant number of people were left without a signal for the duration. Local electrical contractor Ross Partridge says he's unaware of any prior warning messages sent by Optus.
Well, from what I read in the paper, Optus seemed to reckon they sent text messages to people on the 19th of February, but no one I've spoke to can remember getting a text off them about it, so yeah, that's news to me.
In finance, the All Ords is down 30 points at 58.72, and $1 Australian dollar is buying 78.24 US cents. Now with sport, Belinda Dellis-Harris.
The Newcastle Jets will be looking to bounce back against Sydney this Friday night as stars Andrew Hull and Ben Kantarovski return from suspension. A victory would take the Jets within 2 points striking distance of the Mariners, currently in 8th spot on the ladder with 16 points. Kantarovski says it's about applying pressure.
They're pretty good on the ball, so make sure we can get on them pretty early with our pressure and make sure they block those passing lanes into the people behind us.
Northern New South Wales football is set to re-evaluate its policy on playing matches in hot conditions at Spears Point following coaches' concerns about heat retention in its new synthetic pitches. It comes after Sunday's game between Charlestown and Adamstown had to be abandoned on the back of extreme heat. The current heat policy calls for a stop to play if temperatures reach 33 or a 30-degree wet bulb reading is registered. And Knights captain Kurt Gidley will head an 18-man side for Saturday's season opener against the Warriors, with Joey Leilua and Dane Gagai at centre. That's sport. I'm Belinda Dellis-Harris.
2NRFM News Time is 1:05.